Hey YouTube, we're out here on the farm in Upper Michigan. I've been doing a lot of winter camping. This is my fourth weekend in a row out here. It's actually, there's a lot of snow out here, but the weather is actually very nice. It's above freezing right now, and it feels pretty good, even though the sun's not really shining. But everywhere you can see out here, this video is about. I'm gonna do a review on a cell phone booster that I got off Amazon. And for the sake of the video, everything you're looking at, if you walk around out there with your phone, you won't really have any service. My phone says no service when I walk around out there. There's zero connection. Every now and then you'll see one weak bar pop up of service, but it's not enough service to even send a text message or anything like that. It's literally no service. Way down the hill there, back in the woods, I do have a spot where I was camping because I had cellular service. I could make phone calls, I could surf the internet, but I had no electricity back there. It was just a primitive campsite. I had a campfire I'd build, and I'd sit out there in my lawn chair and I'd cook over the fire, but at least I could stay connected to the world back there in the woods. And it was a weird spot. You know, if you walked 30 feet in one direction, you would lose signal and it'd go right back to no signal. But inside that little area, there was signal. But other than that, looking at all this land here, there is no signal. It just says no signal everywhere you go. So last week I hooked up my electricity to my camper, and as soon as there was electricity plugged in, I started reading a little bit about these cell phone boosters. I really didn't read that much. I just kind of looked at what I saw available online for sale. They came in all different prices. I was looking at Best Buy. They had one, and it seemed to be around $500 by the time you bought that and the antenna and tax and everything else. And I almost bought that. I was definitely going to go for that. Hi, girl. I was definitely going to go for that booster from Best Buy, and it's probably a really good booster. But for, you know, $400 and some to $500, it just seemed really expensive. So I ended up looking around a little bit more. I'm not one to shop on Amazon, although I hear it's great. And I ended up finding a booster on there for, it was 150 something marked. I ended up paying $168 for it. It's by a company, I believe, called Subroad, Subroad. But the ad on Amazon gave exactly enough detail, but it left me wondering some thoughts. So here's a short video of what I got and what I did with it. Everything here, we're out at winter camp in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. I'm going to warn you right now, this is some hillbilly stuff going on here, but it's going to give you an idea of how this can be set up. So one of the biggest hillbilly things is, here's the post. Here's my tower. That's the antenna I got from Amazon, mounted on this piece of scrap aluminum and then just jammed in the snow. And I pointed it in the general direction of where I think the tower is. So there's the antenna. That's what you get. And these little screws here come with it. So I was able to mount it to this piece of aluminum very easily. There was no preparation here. I just put it on there and mounted it and stuck it in the snow. Here's the cable coming off the antenna, and that's where it ends for the antenna. There's about a foot of cable, and I screwed it onto the big cable, which I think is 50 feet long. Right there, I screwed it together. And if you can see through the snow, it's just roughly going to my camper here. So this is, like I said, I was out here winter camping in my camper. It's kind of like a tiny house, RV type situation here, but it just sits on my land. And I was winter camping in this, and I had no cellular service anywhere. I'd have to drive, get in my car and drive. This is no BS. Going north up the road, I would have to drive 5 to 6 miles before I could get a text message or make a phone call. So there was literally, it said no service here. So If that's your situation and if you're wondering if it works, I was in the same boat. I was in a situation where there was no service. So, like I said, the cord just runs right there and it runs into a hole. There's my extension cord as well. They both go into the same hole and they're going into this camper. So we're gonna walk into my camper here. It's kind of a mess, but here's where my Subroad cell phone signal booster I got from Amazon is plugged in. Comes with a wire. I got the wire, it runs around here and it plugs into the unit here. There's the antenna they give you. I screwed that in, stood it up. But here's the actual booster itself. It's powered up, and there's the cable where it screws in. And there's my cable coming from the outside through that pipe. But there it is, folks. I went, and so the final result, I put all this together. Took me 5 minutes. You can see where it's blinking signal there, but like I said, if you saw my situation outside, if I adjusted better, I'm sure it'll be better. But with everything going on here, in this mess of hillbilly chaos, inside the camper, with the Subroad cell phone signal booster, I paid $168 total for it. There was free shipping. If it didn't work, I could send it back and get 100% of my money back. Free shipping to return it if I wanted to. So there was almost no risk here. But out at camp, I'm going to upload this video from camp to give you an idea. I now have 4 to 5 bars of LTE service in a remote area far from a cell tower where I had no service before. It literally said no service. So there it is, folks. If you had questions, and if you still have questions, I might be able to answer them a little bit. I mean, I'm no expert in this. I'm just showing you what I did. This is, like I said, this antenna is mounted as hillbilly as it can be on an old broken piece of aluminum, just jammed in the snow. But that's my results. Plugged in, boom, I have cell phone service. From no bars to 4 bars. So I'm streaming music out here at camp now with my phone. I'm making phone calls. I'm on the internet. You know, I had questions and concerns about this. I figure you might as well. So I hope if you did wonder, if you were thinking about buying this, I would say you have almost nothing to risk. You just have the time to ship it back if it didn't work for you, you know. I'm really glad I got it. So I'm going to conclude this video, and if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll answer it. But that's the review on the Subroad cell phone signal booster from Amazon for $168. I plugged this bad boy in. I'm no expert. Plugged it into the camper, and now inside the camper, I have service. So that's the one thing too, is the 2 antennas here don't mash. Or, you know, they don't mix. So the service inside the camper does not come out as far as this antenna. You have to get the antenna, from my understanding, away from where you want service. So other than that, everything's all hooked up. We have service here inside the camper, and that's all I need. I don't need it outside. I just need to leave my phone inside and check, oh, I have some messages or whatever, or I can surf the internet later when I want to. That's the main thing, is now at least I have signal inside the camper for whatever purpose I want it for. So, all right, YouTube, I hope that helps any of your questions. Like I said, we're just sitting out here at camp. Remote area with no signal, and the cell phone booster. Now I do have full signal. So, have a good day, folks. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my time out here winter camping. And maybe I'll shoot some videos on that. But click like, hit subscribe if you would. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope it helps you out. Have a good day. All right, now. Bye.